Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Club Lonely Moms. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Club Lonely Moms. I'm Caitlin, and if you are a mom or a father or a parent or a caregiver to children without a village, my channel might be for you. I am Caitlin. I have a 6-month-old baby girl, just about 6 months old. I have a loving husband who works full-time, which allows me to be home on maternity leave, which I am on right now. We live in Canada. It gets cold where I live, and we're coming into that season right now. I guess that's a good segue into why I called my channel Club Lonely Moms. First of all, I wanted it to be Lonely Moms Club. That was taken, obviously, on Instagram or something. So I went with Club Lonely Moms. I live a province over from where I grew up, where I went to university, where all my family lives, my extended family, my husband's family. He also went to university in the province over. We moved to this province for work initially. We moved during the pandemic. I graduated during that time, got a work from home job. So it's really hard to make friends in that instance. And I don't have the added advantage of already having my village with my parents or my siblings or cousins or whatever. It's just me, my husband, and my baby girl. I have made a couple of good friends. I don't want to discount their relationship with me. I am very good friends with a couple people here, but it's isolating being a mom and having these friends because one of them is a mom, which is really nice. She has 3 boys. She has a full-time career. Her youngest is 2. Her oldest is 6 or 7. She's a busy lady. I don't get to see her that often, though when I do, it's really nice. And I have another very good friend here. She's not in her parenting era yet. She's maybe a couple years out. So it can be lonely being on maternity leave because those 2 friends work during the week. The one with all the kids is busy on the weekends, of course. I always feel really rejuvenated and just so nice when I get to hang out with them because it's lonely being a mom. It's lonely staying at home with your baby. You crave adult interaction and you don't get it, and it is lonely. Another huge reason why, like I said, we don't really have support. I do have those friends. It would be so amazing if I could get them to babysit for me. My almost 6-month-old baby, to paint the picture, is highly sensitive. I don't feel comfortable with how I think she would react to being babysat by someone who wasn't me or her dad. I think she would probably cry the whole time, and I feel like that's a lot for my friends to undertake. That's something that you would reserve more for like your mom or your sibling, you know, someone who you really feel comfortable putting through a really hard time so that you can have a couple hours to yourself. We don't have that. My husband and I have been, either one, him or me, has been with her since the moment she's been born. She doesn't get left alone with other people. When our family comes to visit, she hasn't been able to be left alone with them because she used to cry a lot. She still cries a decent amount. She used to cry a lot more. That's a story for another video. It's just the 3 of us. Most of the time, it's just me and her. It's really nice on weekends when my husband is home and I get to spend some time with him, but during the week, oh boy, is it lonely. You're probably thinking, why don't you try to make mom friends? That's a good question. I have tried to make mom friends. During my pregnancy, I attended prenatal Pilates, tried to make mom friends. We go to swim lessons. I try to make mom friends. In these specific situations, it's really hard because I am a young mom. I think in 2023, especially, I'm 26 years old. A lot of moms are 5 to 10 years my senior, 5 to 10 years plus my senior. Relating to them isn't as easy as relating to someone more your own age, especially I feel like nowadays 5 to 10 years makes a huge difference between me and someone 5 to 10 years older because of social media coming into popularity when I was in high school. So when those people were in high school, social media wasn't a thing, and it really shaped our generation, especially people within plus minus five years, I guess, of my age. Well, I mean, someone 5 years younger might be a lot more hip and cool than me, but you get what I'm saying. When I go to these classes, it's really hard to relate to these moms, especially because, I don't know, I see them more around my mom's age. Now, my mom was a young mom. Even for 1997, she was a young mom, and I'm a young mom now. And I think that maybe there's lots of moms my age out there, but they aren't going to these sort of classes. I'm not sure. I feel very privileged to be able to afford to attend things like this because this isn't something that for example, my mom would have been able to do when I was a baby. I do get some interaction out of it, but it's not like the quality, like heart to heart, like, hey, this is hard work and here are the things that we're going through. Like, we don't get those sort of conversations. We're like, oh, hey, how old's your baby? Oh, cute, you know, that sort of thing. It's very shallow. And then you're probably thinking, well, why don't you try to find moms your age? You bet I've tried that. There's an app called Peanut. It's like Tinder, but for moms. My dishwasher. If you have a Samsung, you know. I have tried to find moms my age. There's an app called Peanut. It's like Tinder, but for moms looking for other mom friends. I don't know what it is about that. I never use dating apps. I met my husband at work and never had to use dating apps, so I don't know if this is how dating apps go in general. I know this isn't dating. Try to make friends. It's you swipe left, you swipe right, you actually swipe up and down, I think. It's the same thing. So I'm in all these moms' DMs like, hey, how's maternity leave? Hey, how are you? I mostly get nothing back. The odd time people will respond, and it's so they're not continuing the conversation. I'm doing all the work. So I don't know if it's me, like, do I come on too strong? I'm just like, hey, I'm looking for a friend. And then when I see young moms out in public, I get kind of like in my head, like, oh, they're probably from here. Oh, they probably already have friends. Like, they're not looking for friends. They don't have the time. They don't need another friend. They have their mom who comes over, you know, once a week, watches the kid. They get date nights, etc. Like, that's not really something that me and my husband have, and it's hard to relate out in public with people who are from here. Another huge divide I find with being on the Peanut app or just, you know, out in public trying to find mom friends. Whoa, I added too much sugar to that. Another challenge I've found with trying to make mom friends is let me go back a bit. I've wanted to be a parent my whole life. Long before I decided to have this baby, I was following parenting accounts. I was reading parenting books. I was watching YouTube videos on parenting, birth, pregnancy, all of that. I was nannying. I had infant cousins that I used to love to babysit. I feel like I have a really strong background in learning about parenting, the different ways you can parent, like the different ideals, different philosophies. And I feel like my parenting philosophy is hard to just like find out in public. I mean, it probably isn't as hard as I'm maybe making it seem, but I'm definitely in the breastfeeding, co-sleeping, responsive parenting, never gonna let my baby cry it out sort of genre. And I think that when people aren't well versed in different parenting styles, they'll listen to a lot of information that's out there and more widely available, or more I guess known for longer. For example, my pediatrician's like, my family doctor was like, you should let your baby cry it out, otherwise you'll probably have sleep problems till they're 18 months old. And that doesn't sit right with me. That's not really, anyways, what I'm trying to say is a lot of people get that sort of information, so maybe their parenting style is based on that, and there's no fault to that. It's just, I'm really looking for people who get me, you know? That's hard to find out in the world. It's also hard to find out with young moms. Being a responsive parent to my child, fostering good mental health, good body image, listening to her body with feelings and, you know, fullness, all that stuff is what, she's right here, that's why I keep looking at her. All that stuff is what I'm trying to do in terms of my parenting. Like, I feel like because of all of that, I definitely make parenting harder than it needs to be, or not harder than it needs to be, but harder than it could be. And I feel like for us, this is what we need. Maybe this will help you decide if we have similar interests. What accounts like I really love on Instagram, for example. I love, if you've ever heard of Hey Sleepy Baby, that's probably my favorite account. They just, Rachel is the person who runs it. She just started a podcast. No one told us. It's really good. I recommend you listen to it. Even if you take nothing else from this, go follow Hey Sleepy Baby. Go listen to the No One Told Us podcast. She talks about alternatives to sleep training and like the benefits of all of that, and also just gives you alternatives to sleep training. Like, it's so nice to hear, hey, listen, your baby's gonna learn how to sleep through the night, even if they don't cry it out when they're infants. It just maybe will take more fostering, more effort, more time, and that's something I feel really comfortable doing at the moment. That's how I feel right now. Let me say, if you sleep train your baby, good for you. Like, I have no judgment, because if I could put my baby down to sleep, close the door, and then have the evening to myself, I would Love that. That's just not the temperament my child has. She would never, let me tell you. Big Little Feelings is also an account I religiously follow. Love their content, and it really speaks to me, and it's something I really value, is the type of content they put out. Let's get into what my vision is for this channel, okay? I want to create vlogs, realistic vlogs. My life will not be curated. I do not have the energy to curate my life. This maybe even doesn't, but my background kind of looks like I have a clean house, right? I don't. Maybe you're looking at my background thinking, no way, girl, that's cluttered. Like, you got all your library books right here, like, whatever. What I'm saying is that my vlogs will not be curated. Maybe, like, clean up with me would be really helpful, really motivating for me. Things I do love to do, and whenever I'm doing them, I'm thinking, wow, I should be filming this because this is stuff that I like to watch. With baking, I love baking. Right now, I can't eat dairy because of my baby girl. We love her. She's not a dairy girl yet. I love cooking, but more specifically, I love making like homemade chicken soup, split pea soup, chili, spaghetti sauce, stuff that I can make in a big bulk in my soup pot and then freeze so that me and my husband could take those out on days where we're feeling really tired, because let me tell you, that feels like it should be every day. But no, we don't take them out that often. Or the weekend, for example, because it's really nice to give yourself a break on the weekend and eat already made food instead of being like, ugh, what are we gonna eat for lunch? Let's cook something up. You just defrost a chicken soup, put it in the microwave, there you go. I love doing that sort of thing. I will say, however, the bulk of the cooking in our house is done by my husband. He has an affinity for that. He loves cooking. We love a man who cooks. I'm by no means a bad cook. It's just not my thing. Like, I do not like the rush of the evening needing to cook. I prefer it to be like Saturday or Sunday, and I got like the big back window and I got all my ingredients, and that's the type of cooking I like. And I feel like daily cooking is not that type of cooking. Other videos I have in mind are kind of sit down like this, where I talk about like my breastfeeding journey, for example, with my baby. That's a whole video. It's been hard, super hard. It's also been easy in some. You'll see. Yeah, you guys will get to know all about that. Other sit-down videos could be like parenting a high needs baby, what my relationship looks like with my husband now that we have this baby who cannot be apart from us. I think this is important to say. We can't put her down for a nap and walk away. She strictly contact naps. She strictly contact sleeps at night. Well, not so much contact, like she lays in the bed, but she needs to be there. Or my husband, she needs to be in the baby carrier with him. So what is my intention with this channel? My intention is to create a community, one, for myself, that I am missing. Like, I do not have that village that is helping me raise my baby. I do not have the support. It is isolating and lonely. I want to create a community where you can come, see what the reality of the parenting situation is, and just feel seen. Feeling seen is probably my biggest, what I want people to take away from my channel, is to feel seen and heard, because I struggle with that. My husband, he goes to work and then he comes home and then he goes to sleep by 8:30. So he is with our baby like 2.5 hours a day, and I'm with her half of that time. So he spends like, an hour and a half with her, let's say. And I love him. He's a great dad. But he doesn't understand what it's like to be me. He can sympathize, but he can't really empathize. You know what I'm saying? When I watch listen to, I love watching podcasts. I don't like when the podcast doesn't post the video alongside. I want to see the reaction. When I listen to podcasts and they talk about stuff with parenting, that just makes me feel seen. Like, I get so emotional, and it really makes me realize how much I'm missing that connection and that community with other primary caregivers to their children. I want to create this community where you feel seen and heard by my content, because I feel like I'm not one of those moms who has the unicorn babies. So I think that maybe you'll be able to relate to me in some sense. And if you have a unicorn baby, I still hope you relate to me. Parenting is still hard, I'm sure, for people with unicorn babies. Well, I think that is everything I wanted to get out in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you could like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it because by the time this video comes out, I probably have 1 subscriber and it's probably me. So if you could go ahead and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. And please leave a comment down below on this video about content that you would like to see from me, because I'm going off what I like to watch on YouTube, but I don't know, maybe there's some other stuff out there that I could put out. It would be also really helpful for the growth of my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.